Welcome to the Saints Sports Corner. We got a great show for today. We're going to be talking about if the Saints defense has added enough to hold NFL offenses down this season so that the Saints team can march their way to the playoffs. We got a lot more of that on the Saints Sports Corner.
Yeah. Who that? Who that? Who that said they gon' beat them Saints? A win is a win by a mile or an inch. It's any given Sunday when we battling in the trenches. Who that? We that? Who that? We that? Die hard even after an L. Still reppin' in my section, yelling outside the dome, going home. Who that? We that? Black and gold soul, that's my song. Who that? We that? Who that? We that? Touchdown Saints putting points on the board is how my squad steady winning. Sacks on D, turnovers, wow, don't even think about. Coming back, it's already late in the fourth now. We that, who that, we that, who that, who that, who that. 4,000-yard QB, 1,000-yard rusher, 1,200-yard receiver, straight pressure. Lockdown corner, throw that ball if you want to. TFL's in the backfield, boy, we on you. Black and gold, so that's what I'm all about. Forget about the division, the Saints run the South. Who that, we that. Who that? We that? Who that? Who that? Who that? Who that? Who that? Who that?
Welcome in, Who Dat Nation. Welcome in, Saints fans. We got a lot to talk about today, man. But at first, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. Also, if you're not subscribed, please subscribe, man. I like doing this content for y'all, man. But without further ado, let's just dive right into it. Listen, the Saints have made some additions to their defense this offseason. And we got to talk about, has the Saints added enough now that they lost veterans like Cam Jordan, veterans like Demario Davis, veterans that anchored this team in the Sean Payton era for a long time? Is it enough? Is it enough additions? Or do they even care that they have enough on defense? Is this year just about fixing the offense? We're going to find out. But let's talk about it. The Saints added Caden Ellis. They added Christian Miller. They added TJ Hall. They added Martin Emerson, Anthony Jennings. They added some pieces. They added some pieces. But the question is, do they have enough? And we're going to examine if they have enough. Because I'm looking at this roster and I'm saying, man, listen, I told y'all Brandon Staley was the best coach last year on the Saints staff. He over exceeded expectations because Brandon Staley, from the time the Saints started the season to the end, always gave the Saints chances. It was the offense that really held them back, no matter who the quarterback was. Now that the Saints have some offensive firepower, just maybe there's not as much pressure on the defense to hold teams. The thing is, they have gotten younger. That's a plus. The problem is, where does the leadership come from? Who is the leader on that defense? Justin Reed? Is it Caden Ellis? Is it Pete Warner? Who's the leader on that defense? Chase Young? Carl Granderson? Who is the leader on that defense now? And that's where my concerns are. We're talking about a team that's still young. We're talking about a team that still have holes. And we're talking about a team that still doesn't really have a lockdown corner. Now, they invested in this corner from the Browns, who's a really good corner, really long corner, and Martin Emerson. And the guy had 4 interceptions 2 years ago. So he's a very instinctive, a very what you call that, a playmaker at the cornerback position. Question is, after his surgery, can he get back to form? I'm pretty sure he could. He's still a young guy. So my thing is, what is he going to contribute to the Saints defense that helps the Saints when it comes to covering? Because I'm gonna be honest with you. The Saints signed Anthony Jennings, right? But I looked at his profile, and for what I'm understanding, he's a really good run stopper, but he does not rush the passer well. He never had more than 2 sacks. That's alarming. The player may be a good run stopper, and I get it. The Saints struggle with the run. But who rushes the passer? I know they got Caden Ellis. He rushed the passer some. I know they got Chris Rump. I know they got Chase Young. I know they got Granderson. But my question for you guys is, can we trust that unit to wreak havoc on the NFL for entirety of one season? For the entirety of one season, can we trust that group? And that's where my questions lie. Because I saw what they were when they had Cam Jordan, his tutelage and his leadership. What are they without Cam Jordan? Where do they fall to when things don't go right? Where do they fall to? Who do they lean on? And that's what I'm trying to figure out. Now, I'm not saying the Saints won't sign Cam Jordan, but up until this point, the Saints have not signed Cam Jordan. I get that he's old, but he gave you 10.5 sacks last year. You thought he was done last year. And it worries me that this team will be lacking a dog as a leader with that type of consistency that Cam Jordan put up in his career. So when I say I'm worried about the defense, it's because they're very young. Same thing with the linebacker core. Pete Werner, sometimes shaky. Danny Stumpman, still question marks. You know what I'm saying? So I understand that the Saints like these guys, and I understand that these guys are young, up and coming pieces, but we have to see a consistency. Have to see it consistent. I'm not so sure that we won't take a couple steps back, but because, like I said, Brandon Staley, he overachieved. That's a fact. He overachieved. And then you had guys like Alante Taylor. Also, Alante's gone too. That's another huge loss. But it seems like what we're trying to do is just stop the run, stop the run, stop the run, and then let the teams throw it on us. But most teams do a lot of throwing. Teams don't run the ball as much. A lot of teams, the teams that win run the ball, but a lot of teams just trying to develop quarterbacks fast and throw the ball and see what they got. And if we can't get to the opposing team's quarterback, we're going to be in trouble. And that's the problem I have. We brought in a lot of defensive interior line. We still got Gotcha. We still got Shepard. We still got Broughton. Brought in Miller. They signed undrafted Xavier Harris. We got all these. We still got Breesy. That's a lot of interior beef to stop the run. Who's rushing the passer? And I know what y'all saying, Chase Young, but Chase Young up until last year was inconsistent. I know we got Granderson, but Granderson, I mean, he showed flashes every now and then. But ever since he got the contract, he been showing flashes. He haven't had that Trey Hendrickson upside peak yet. It hasn't happened yet. And there was times where Cam Jordan was hurt and he didn't produce. So what I'm saying is we need somebody who can be a game wrecker on that edge. And it's not the Saints' fault that they don't have it. They did go after Chase and he decided to sign with another team. So I understand that they understood that it was a major need also. My problem with it is things like this come to haunt you at key moments. We got a lot of mobile quarterbacks in the NFL now that can run and scramble and doing all this other stuff. How do you get to them before they wreak havoc? How? Because that has been the Saints' Achilles heel for the last, what, even during the Sean Payton era. You get a running quarterback, they just dismantle us because we're not built to set up. We're not built to stop the mobility of a running quarterback. Still haven't seen the Saints do it yet. So I'm intrigued and I'm interested to see if the Saints have what it takes to be a top 20 unit. I don't think they probably won't be a top 10 unit again this year. Can they survive and march their way to the playoffs with a top 20 unit? It's been done before, but it's the pass defense that I'm worried about. Because if the rush is not coming, the back end has to cover longer. And if the back end has to cover longer, chances are they're going to get beat. That's what I'm worried about. And maybe I'm wrong. Put it in the comments. Educate me. Let me know what you think. Put it in the comments. I want to see some other narratives. But based on where we are now, I'm worried about that defense, that defensive line, specifically edge rushers, and I'm worried about the linebacker core. Can they hold up? Is Danny Stutzman's ready for the next step? I don't think we're talking about it enough. Yes, we got Caden Ellis. He's a veteran. He's been in that system. He's been in the Saints locker room before. He learned under guys like Demario Davis. That's a fact. He has been poured into from Demario Davis. But what are the young guys going to do? Where's the slack going to get picked up from? There's people out there saying that they think at this point Caden Ellis is a better linebacker than Demario Davis. But we're going to see, aren't we? We are going to see. But as far as this Martin Emerson guy, he got something. Guy got a little swag. He got something. Now, if there's a high upside signing, this is it. This kid has something when he was with the Browns. This kid can ball. It's just confidence. It's recovery from the injury. And it's just believing that he could still play on that injury and he could come back from it. But this kid has something. He has something. I can see him being one of the sneaky good offseason additions that people are not talking about as much. Because who's playing in the slot? That's another question the Saints got to answer. Who's going to play in the slot? Who's going to play in the slot? We definitely got some capable guys, but who's going to play in the slot this season against tight ends? You know what I'm saying? Wide receivers. That'll be interesting. That'll be an interesting competition this offseason during training camp. Because once you lose Alante, that speed, that size, and not that Alante was a lockdown. He took his lump sometime, but more often than not, he was where he needed to be. But who are you replacing him with? That's our main question. So just a lot of questions and not enough answers. And that scares me. Not gonna lie, that scares me. And I'm sure everything gonna solve itself out during training camp, but man, teams are only putting up more points. Teams are only becoming more multiple. Teams are only becoming better at offense and disguising it and moving people around. And, they're only becoming more dynamic. So in the terms of the Saints defense, you're going to have to match up. And then it's a unit that haven't played together. It's a unit that's very young. It's going to be some growing pains. And I know they expect it. And I know it's a rebuild. I just want fans to temper their expectations. I will not be shocked if the Saints don't make the playoffs this year. I wouldn't be shocked if the Saints don't win 8 games this year. I'm just being honest. I know there's a lot of hype around them, but I would not be shocked. There's a lot of moving pieces that the Saints need to go right in order to compete. What kind of offensive coordinator is Kellen Moore on his own with a team that he's building? Still questions to remain to be seen. This is his tenure. This is his offense. This is his guys that that he's comfortable with putting in this offense. Travis Etienne, Alvin Kamara, how do they fit in? Is Alvin Kamara even on a roster to start the season? Like, there's so many rumors flying around Alvin Kamara. Unfair rumors. There's unfair rumors flying around Alvin Kamara. They're doing hit pieces on Alvin Kamara talking about he's just haven't been a good running back, but they're only telling a part of the story. They're only telling a part of the story. Yes, everything Jeff Duncan said about Alvin Kamara was true. But what Jeff Duncan didn't tell you, the Saints over the last couple years have had some of the worst offensive line play and offensive line injuries in the NFL. Was ranked 1 or 2 for the most lineups by offensive linemen in the past couple years. So there's 3 sides to every story, and the truth lies somewhere in the middle. So when people write pieces like that, I would challenge them to write all sides of the story so that people could get the honest truth about what's actually going on with the run game. Saints offensive line haven't been beating people off the ball. Saints offensive line haven't been moving people off the ball. That's just a fact. Ryan Ramczyk was hurt. There has been a lot of Eric McCoy was hurt. They were signing guys left and right. That has just as much to do with the run game as Alvin Kamara. And one time they was ranked 22nd. Alvin had almost 1,000 yards. So they don't write that type of they don't tell you the whole truth. They only tell you a part of the truth. And that's the only thing I don't like. To fit a narrative. Alvin Kamara is still a superstar. If you put Alvin Kamara on the Chiefs, he's gonna ball out. You put Alvin Kamara on the Minnesota Vikings, he's going to ball out. You put Alvin Kamara on the Seattle Seahawks, he's going to ball out. So this Alvin Kamara, he's done. That's foolish takes, man. That's reactionary, don't watch football, foolish takes. And now he's going to be even more motivated because of the type of coverage and media that they're giving him. So, we gonna see, man. There's a lot of things that's going on in the Saints. The rookie minicamp started. Yes, rookie minicamps has started. I'm sure you've seen the highlights. I'm sure you've seen Jordan Tyson moving around. What's the other guy name? Lance. I know you've seen him. Had the speed. They described it as being explosive. There's a lot of wide receivers that the Saints got. This is going to be probably the toughest wide receiver battle I ever seen during any Saints tenure, man. They got so many wide receivers they got to cut. Barry and Brown, you know what I'm saying? They're saying he's making big plays. So there's a lot to be excited about the offense. New addition with offensive guards, you know what I'm saying? So there's a lot to be excited about. The question becomes, does it all work? That's the only question Saints fans care about. Does it all work? And it remains to be seen. So there's a lot going on, man. A lot to be excited about when it comes to Saints rookie minicamp, man. They said that, man, the receiving crew has some juice, some wheels. Even called it a relay team. So you know what they're going for. On that dome turf, that fast track, they looking to throw it deep. What Tyler Shuck does well, throw deep balls. They looking to go deep, man. But I'm here for it. Let's do it. Let's air that son of a gun out. Let's air it out, man. Let's air that thing out. So, but that's all I got. That's all I got. Just a quick, brief podcast discussing if the Saints going to make the playoffs, but at the same time, if the defense going to hold them back. I think we're good at safety. Sanker, guys like Sanker, guys like Justin Reed, guys like and TJ Hall. People don't know TJ Hall could play both. I think TJ Hall gonna be a better NFL safety than he do be cornerback. He's that smart. But you also got guys, you know what I'm saying? They signed Blackman still. So they got a nice safety. They got a nice little safety tandem. I think and pieces, and I think they're good at safety. That's probably outside of the defensive tackle position their strongest position, that safety position. with veterans, with actual guys that know how to play. So I think we gonna see it's gonna all play itself out. We getting closer and closer to training camp. We're not that far. We're only a couple months off. So we're gonna get all our answers to the question. We're gonna get all our media coverage. And we're gonna see. But other than that, man, I hope y'all have a good day. You know, this is just a quick podcast. Some thoughts I wanted to get out. Some things I'm thinking about. You know, like I said, put it in the comments. Let me know if I'm wrong. Put it in the comments. Let me know if I'm wrong. I want to know if the defense can hold their own this season. Are the additions that the Saints made it is enough? But that's all I got, man. I appreciate y'all. Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. And as always, thank you guys for watching the Saints Sports Corner.